Thank you for tuning in to Dancing with the Odds, brought to you by Rad Dad Productions. Before we begin this episode, we'd like to remind you of some important information. Sports betting can be an enjoyable pastime when done responsibly. However, please remember to gamble within your means and only if you're of legal gambling age in your jurisdiction. If you or someone you know is struggling with gambling addiction, we urge you to seek help immediately. There are resources available to assist you in regaining control of your gambling habits. Please call the National Helpline for Problem Gambling at 1-800-BETS-OFF. This confidential and toll-free helpline is available 24/7 to provide support and guidance. Dancing with the Odds and Rad Dad Productions do not endorse or promote excessive or irresponsible gambling. We are committed to promoting responsible betting and ensuring our listeners have access to necessary resources for responsible gambling. All wagers placed by Dancing with the Odds are made legally inside the state of Iowa.
Welcome back to Dancing with the Odds. I'm Dennis Truska. I'm here with Sean Thompson and Aaron Patterson. It's our second episode, guys.
Number 2.
Yeah. Number 2.
1-1 after week
1-1 after week one. I think we're off to a pretty good start.
At least it was the big one that we got.
Yes.
Last week.
The big one.
The big
one with the
bigger payout.
The profit bonus that
we
got through the betting app there.
Yep.
I was celebrating like an idiot in the
I was too. And it was stressful.
Yeah, because I didn't know that Florida State was going to do it there. And then in the second half, they did. And
well, that Oregon game.
That one
stressed me out the most.
God, I was so stressed out.
You guys are like actively trying to screw this up, like, aren't you? Like, and they pulled it out, thankfully.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Almost.
Texting each other like idiots.
Almost didn't, yeah.
She got that interception, and I was like, oh no. No, they're leaving too much time on the clock here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was you that said you're like he should have just went down.
Yeah, he would have went down. They could have just taken knees, and the game would have been over.
Yeah.
I get
Hard
it
to
though.
tell a kid at that age that he's got a pick six in front of him to not run it in.
And it's probably their first or second game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
There's no way you're going down. So
no, it's awesome. I think it's also kind of funny how much attention we're getting from the other Rad Dads.
Yes.
A lot of people want to be involved, so we're gonna get some.
It's a long year.
No free shout outs though.
Yeah.
No free shout outs, but they'll get their shout out when they're on here. So.
Yeah.
Also a lot of requests for live streaming, so we're looking into that. That'll be fun.
Exploring, yes.
We're exploring options.
Yeah, we should totally do that. And have to look at our ugly mugs though. That won't be too good.
That is an issue.
It might lose
It can
viewers.
be an issue. I think the whole thing is they just want to call in or write and talk shit while we're talking. I think that's the whole point behind it, which
probably
that's fair.
And I'm sure if Adam knew that we were recording right now, he would be like at the window banging
on the window and
yelling.
Yep.
Was that a free shout out that you just gave out?
Yeah, it was.
It was.
I don't know which
All
one.
right.
Are there multiple Adams? No, there's not. Oh, there's
Probably.
Yeah,
There's only one Adam.
We could edit that. You could edit that.
Yeah.
We can. I can. Whatever. All right. So should we go over our bets from the weekend? How we did?
Yeah.
We kind of talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah, I think I was surprised with the college one because that was actually had the longer odds compared to our pro.
Correct.
And they all hit. I agree. Like the Oregon game scared the crap out of me. But I mean, you think about it. Oklahoma covered by half a point. We had 16.5. They won barely
17.
17. Oregon barely pulled it out. So
at the very end, thank God we went money line. Yeah. Right.
And then Florida State, it was a little iffy at the beginning, but they really
that first half they really were.
Yeah.
Both teams were in
I think
neutral.
they were kind of playing down to their competition a little bit. So
Yep.
but they turned it on I think they had almost 40 points by the end of the first half, if I remember correctly. So
First half.
I found a lot of new
something
channels.
Like that. It was.
Yeah.
I found a lot of new channels.
Because it was
I
what,
didn't
52 and a
realize
half was
that I
the.
had.
A lot of
new channels that I didn't realize I had. Like no idea I had the ACC network, but
Oh yeah, there's like
okay.
7 of them.
Well, what was the one? I was like, "Where's this game?" And you're like, "It's on ESPN Plus."
Yeah.
I was like, "Shit!" So
I think
I'm,
that was
going
the.
to my ESPN
I think that was the
app
Oklahoma game.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I have that.
Because I know you can watch a lot of like the FCS stuff, and that's all on ESPN Plus. So
I'm sure we'll have a bet on an FCS game.
oh,
at
I'm
some
sure
point.
at some point, yeah.
Well, now we have to.
Well, we said it. It's going to be a thing. So we hit all 3 of those. we put $20 down on that, and we came away with 143.32
Yeah.
on
So
that
now we got
one,
house
so.
money to play with. Which
We
is
do.
pretty sweet.
Which makes up for the Sunday bet.
Yeah.
Then that happened. So you mean
Thanks
the
a lot,
parlay we
Minnesota.
thought was a no-brainer?
Yeah. Like the pro one's like, duh.
So
Well, and that was the game that I thought was the absolute surest of bets.
Oh yeah.
The other two, I was like the Philadelphia one. I was like,
Yeah.
started getting a little of that.
well, you know,
Well,
it's
maybe
the whole
New
Belichick
England,
thing,
yeah,
like betting
Yeah.
against him, yeah.
in Foxborough, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I guess that does
Have you
make
guys
sense.
watched the Netflix quarterback series?
Yeah.
Okay. So I finished watching that before the season started. And I was like, oh, I think I'm a Kirk Cousins fan. And then this shit happened, and I'm right back to not liking him anymore.
That whole team just,
Oh.
I don't know what happened in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they lost that
Fighting-
one.
the
That
fighting
ruined the
Baker
whole thing.
Mayfields.
Yeah, who would have saw that coming?
What a joke. Oh, it's the Vikings.
It's
Whatever.
like on his 7th team in 5 years or something.
I mean, he did okay with the Rams at the end of
He
last
did.
year
Yeah.
He did.
in the situation he was given, but
And maybe it was
he had a
just
full
Cleveland
off season with Tampa Bay, and I just didn't. Maybe they'll fall on their face still, but I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we hit the other two, right? Philly
Yep.
covered or
Philly covered.
Patriots,
Philly
and
covered.
then the Ravens beat
The
the
Ravens
Texans,
won.
which pretty handily. So
Yep.
after the end of the first week, our bankroll is 175.64. So not bad. We started with 60. We more than doubled it, almost
Yep.
tripled it. So yeah, almost tripled it.
Yeah.
Math. So good.
So this week we've got to do 40, right?
I think
40
so.
deal.
Isn't that what we're
Looking
doing?
at.
Yeah.
And that still gives us some money in the.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we do 40 per.
It'll be 80, so it'll be roughly little under half of our bank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like it.
That's-
Well, should we dive in and look at
Yeah.
the bets? All right, cool. So, Sean, you want to start?
Sure.
What you came up with? Let's
So-
do. Do you want to do
Well, and
college
before
first?
we get into that, I just
Yeah.
want to.
Oh,
want to say
I love this. Let's go.
6th straight NL East championship for the Atlanta Braves tonight.
Yeah,
Wow.
no one gives a shit about that. So we're gonna move on to the bets. No,
I still had to say it.
congrats to your Braves. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I hope.
And
Cubs are
it
almost-
was done in Philadelphia, which
nice.
makes it even better.
my dad's a listener. He's gonna hate that. You
I know,
said that.
and that's
Is
why
that
I,
why you said
that
it?
is exactly
There you
why
go,
I
Dad.
said it.
Aaron is your new enemy.
There you go.
Um,
I'm
no,
just
that's
shocked that
they're
the
so
Cubs
good.
are actually in the wild.
Cubs are doing great.
Wild card.
Diamondbacks keep getting in there and then shooting themselves in the foot.
They're
lost
like a
the
half a
other
game
night.
out. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Cubs
might be a
lost
full
this
game out
season,
now.
so.
It shakes out after tonight's games. Ugh. All right,
We'll get to the baseball bets eventually here.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Postseason.
hate it.
Yeah, we got
Postseason, I
to do
think
some
it's easier.
postseason. Yeah.
Oh, for its postseason, yeah, that's fine. I'm in.
Not easier, but I lost so much money betting baseball over the summer. It was
Yeah.
just ridiculous. But okay.
Same.
So I guess I'll start with college since that's on Saturday.
Okay.
So I really like Florida State. I think they're going to go a long way this year. I think they'll be in the playoff. Honestly, they look really good.
They easily look top 4.
And so they're playing Boston College, who is a shell of their former selves from the Big East days and even at the beginning of the ACC days. They are not a good football team at all, unfortunately. So, but the over under is 48.5, which I think
Oh my
is
gosh.
astonishing. And
Yeah.
I think we picked that one really well last week because I think it was like 52.5 last week against Southern Miss,
Mhm.
and it's even less now. And
Florida State ended up with like 60 points.
66. Yeah.
Right.
No, so they're awful. But I think they have one of the worst defenses in the country, and they give up like 250 rushing yards a game
Oh my gosh. This
and
is
like
gonna be
250 passing yards,
Okay.
and that's against really not. So one of them is Northern Illinois, who is playing Nebraska this weekend. So I
That's a whole
think
nother story.
they lost
Yeah,
to
we're not gonna get into that.
Northern Illinois. They did win a game, but it was against this really, really small school.
Well, they barely lost to
And
Northern Illinois.
Yeah,
27-24.
and I think they barely beat. I think it was Long Island or U or something like that. I can't remember who it was. Exactly.
Long Island U.
Yeah, some
You were close. Holy Cross.
Holy Cross.
Same thing.
31-28.
Yeah, so they only won by a field goal against Holy Cross. So I think you got Florida State coming in. I think they're going to trounce them.
I like
Their
it.
defense is legit. Their offense is going to score lots of points.
Well, and even Boston. I mean, obviously
and BC can score. So
Their
maybe.
competition is not that good, but 24 and 31 points is not bad.
Right. And so I think they'll easily get over 48.5. So I'm taking the over. I
like it.
I would take the overs on that.
Mhm.
The next one causes me a little bit of pause, but I think it's doable. Iowa State 2.5 point favorite against Ohio. Iowa State doesn't score a whole lot of points. Ohio is 2-1. They haven't played the greatest of competition either, but they score anywhere from, I think they've been 13 to 20 points most games. I think they're averaging about 18 a game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 27, 13, and 17.
Yeah.
last.
So, so I think Iowa State's defense is a little bit more stout. They played they played okay against Iowa. I don't think either of those teams is very good. But I think Iowa State can cover 2.5. I think they can win by at least a field goal. So looking at that, we got a plus 263, so 40. We bet 40 on that. That hits us 145 if that hits. I didn't see a whole lot else, unfortunately, that tickled my fancy. So
Okay.
and then for my NFL stuff, my homer bet for the week, because I didn't do it last week,
Well, let's go, Pack.
is Green Bay. And it's been variable, but it has been moving in the direction more so. I think the last lines I saw was maybe 1.5. It hasn't really shifted a whole lot, but I saw lines at -1 against Atlanta. I thought Green Bay played really, really well against Chicago. That's, how good is Chicago? I don't know. Who knows? But I thought Love looked good. Their defense looked solid. They got plenty of, running game, all that kind of good stuff. Atlanta, I don't think is that great of a team. Yeah. And so I think the Packers will win, and I think they'll easily cover, obviously, with 1 point. So I think that's kind of, in my opinion, easy money. And again, I'm biased, but I think Green Bay is a good solid pick in that. Baltimore,
I'm all on board on that,
Yeah,
that Green Bay pick.
I like it too. I had it marked as well.
Every statistical category, Carolina outgained Atlanta except for the final score and the turnover battle. So
yeah, Kansas City, I've got money line. I couldn't go over under spread on that game, so I just got the money line for them. And then Baltimore is anywhere from a 3 to 3.5 point underdog against Cincinnati. Both their quarterbacks played like absolute crap last week. Baltimore and Cincinnati. Yeah. Cincinnati got trucked.
Yeah, Burrow. Did Burrow even show up? Did he know he had a game that day?
Didn't look like it. So
no, he got paid. He was still hungover from that big payday.
Yeah. So Lamar Jackson didn't play great either, but I think it's a division game. Kind of a,
Are they in Cincy on that one?
Huh?
Are they in Cincy?
They're in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's 3.5, but I think Baltimore will cover that. And so I was going to take Baltimore at 3. It varies. It's 3 on FanDuel. It's 3.5 on DraftKings.
Okay.
But we've been using FanDuel, so I think they'll cover 3.
Okay.
And so that's plus 455.
Wow.
$30 bet will hit 230. So those are mine for the week.
This is good.
We're drifting into some of those crazy bets there.
Yeah, a little bit.
There. Well, this is what Sean does.
Right.
He's going to have a whole segment.
Somebody's got to rein him in a little bit. That Cincinnati-Baltimore game scared me, so I didn't even look
I don't
at
have it marked either, but we can talk about it. That's fine. You want to go into yours?
Yeah, the college ones I had, I was really tempted. The Tennessee 6.5 over Florida. I don't think Florida's not that good.
They're not that good. I
don't know how good Tennessee is either, but they've played some pretty decent ball.
Right.
And if we don't do the spread on that one, I think taking the under at 58.5 would be a little safer. I don't see a big shootout between the two. I mean,
the under. What was it? What's the over under?
The under. Well, the over under is 58.5, so I'd say do the under.
Yep.
Because I don't.
Gotcha.
I mean, they played Austin Peay last week and only beat them 30-13. So they trucked Virginia week 1, but Virginia's not very good this year.
Powerhouse Austin Peay.
Yeah. And it's in Gainesville. It's in Florida.
Yeah.
So that's going to add a little bit to it. So
I think it's going to be one of those defensive SEC games that you don't normally see.
Right.
Okay. I like it.
And then I was looking at the Wyoming and Texas game.
I love it. Let's go.
28.5 points.
Yeah. I've got it marked too.
And Wyoming.
They're sneaky good.
Was it Texas Tech?
Yeah.
Double overtime?
Double overtime.
And Texas Tech almost beat Oregon.
That's why I was like 28.5 is a huge spread.
I like it.
Yeah, I would take Wyoming 28.5.
And let's not forget, this could be a little bit of a trap game for Texas. They're coming off that huge emotional win off
Oh, yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah. I don't know who they got next week.
I mean, they don't got to beat them. They just got to be within 29 points.
Right. And
Let's
that's
go.
why I was like,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's no such thing as a sure bet, but God, have you
That's seen our track record? We're really good at this.
that's a huge,
We're 1-1.
We're
huge line.
500 is good.
And then here's my homer one for
Okay.
you.
Okay, let's go.
Arizona State.
Oh,
I'd take them +3 in that game against Fresno. Fresno hasn't really played anybody.
Neither is
Barely
ASU, to
won.
be fair. But
Well, they
did lose. They
have
lost to Oklahoma State.
they had a very good game with Oklahoma State. It was closer for a while. I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I don't know
Kind of
if
fell apart at the end, but and I don't know how good Oklahoma State is.
I
Especially
would
since
go.
they won't even play Flores
Right.
But-
If they played Flores, they'd never lose.
ever.
I would take Arizona State.
Oh, I like it.
Either the money line
You're gonna make me want to bet that just because I didn't even have that tagged because
Wow.
I didn't want to go homer.
Nice.
and we definitely could have went homer with Nebraska,
I
but why would
I
we?
can't touch those guys, man.
That's why I didn't touch ASU.
Yeah, they're
What do you got NFL? You got some NFL stuff?
Yeah, I was going Chiefs.
Yeah.
I was taking them
Yep.
the -3 over the Jaguars.
it's in Kansas City, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
and they're gonna come out like proving a point.
Right.
Yes, especially coming out. Oh,
Tony's
They
gonna
had
have
their-
15 catches.
their banner reveal ruined. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he'll have 25 catches and 4 touchdowns. The offense will be just strictly Tony.
It's probably a bad move. Don't do that.
Giants money line over the Cards. Sorry, I
that's-
gave you the homer one. I gotta,
Well, I think Giants are another team that were expected to
Oh.
be really good, and
and they got embarrassed.
eggs.
Oh yeah, it was
Prime time.
horrible.
They're gonna come out. That's why I figure money line on the Cards. I
on
don't
the Cards or
Yeah.
the Giants?
on the Giants over the Cards.
over the
Oh,
Cards.
gotcha,
is what he meant. Yeah, like he's like money line on the
Whoa,
Cards.
what?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're not allowed on this podcast anymore.
Unplug his mic.
Cut him off.
And then Jets Cowboys. I'm taking the under 39.5. Both of those defenses this last week.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's good. What was it? 39.5?
39.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and Rodgers
I
being
like
out
it.
now, and
Yeah. That's
it's gonna be a big hit.
that's going to be a definite defensive struggle there because even with Rodgers out, the Jets defense kept Josh Allen in check. Yeah, I would definitely take the under.
Very nice. Those all your.
Those are mine.
So we had a lot of overlap. The
Which
only
is
one
good.
that's good.
Yeah.
The only one I had, and I don't know. I just kind of wanted to talk about it with you guys. It's the Miami -2 over New England. There's a couple. Well, first off, it goes back to that crap. Are we really going to try this against the Patriots again?
And it is in Foxborough because I looked at
I know,
that one.
I know.
I looked hard at it.
So, Tua's never lost to the Patriots. Pat's O-line sucks. Might be without like 2 linemen this week. And Tua went off against man coverage. That's what the Pats run.
Yeah,
Heavy single high coverage, right? Cover 1 and 3. So I don't know. Tua looked awesome last week. And now maybe it was one game
Yeah.
and we're overreacting, but
he had a
little
solid
bulk on
season last year
when he was healthy.
when he was healthy. And then coming out with that game last week, it's like, okay, maybe this is the guy that
We've been
everybody
waiting
thought
for.
he was going to
Yeah,
be.
but it's tough, right? We can come back to that one. I don't know. I wanted to talk about it, but
yeah.
I
that-
looked at it
that's not a-
and
I know.
I was like,
I know. It's just like 2 points. They can
Yeah.
beat up by 2.
I mean,
right?
that's yeah.
I don't know. I had the Packers Atlanta one circled, and then the other one I looked at was the Cleveland Pittsburgh game under 42.5.
that'll be.
I don't know that either team is going to be scoring a lot of points in
No,
that game.
that feels like a 10-3 final.
Yeah, that feels like that old school AFC
Yeah.
defensive battle,
Absolutely.
like that I don't want to watch.
hmm
But this might make me want to watch it.
It's what you turn on to take a nap
It's like
before the
Kenny
good games.
Pickett versus
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson. Like, yeah. So those are those. And then for college, I had a few. Okay, I like the Colorado State at Colorado. Colorado's got 17. They would need to cover.
Is
Colorado
it in
State
Boulder or is it
Yes.
in?
Yes, it's at Boulder.
And everybody and their dog is going to be in Boulder. ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
The college game
Oh,
day is
yeah.
going to be there.
Yeah.
Colorado State has no pass defense.
Yeah.
Like they're giving up passing yards to Long Island U or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
That's one I had, and then I don't know. I kind of want to root against Michigan State a little bit. They're playing Washington. Their whole crap going on.
Yeah,
about,
that's
what's his name, Mel Tucker.
Mhm.
Yep.
And MSU's not very good pass defense either. Washington's pretty big passing offense.
Mhm.
It's 11.5.
Wow.
So I don't know. Maybe it would be more of a money line bet. I'm not sure, but I don't think Michigan State's very good this year.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not going to be good after all the things that came out with Mel
Yeah,
Tucker.
and I mean that's kind of really what made me look at it. And then I started looking at stats, and I'm like, oh, people are passing all over.
Yeah,
him.
absolutely. Because if he does get fired, transfer portal opens up immediately for all those players. So those kids are already thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're not going to be focused 100% on the game.
Right. Last one I had for college, and like I said, I had Wyoming, Texas too. I really was excited about that one. The other one, the flip side, is the Alabama USF game. I like Alabama to cover, even though it's 31 points. I think they're coming off a loss. They're going to have something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Will USF even score double digits against Alabama this weekend?
Probably not.
It's a big spread.
It's hard
but
to say.
Alabama's known to run up the score, just like FSU, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I could see like a 63-10 kind of game.
Well, Saban's been in
Right.
the game long enough. He knows that he's got one loss on the resume now.
He's got to make up for it.
It's got to be
And
style points.
historically, that's what he does, right?
Uh-huh.
Right.
And South Florida's 2 games they've played have been a loss to Western Kentucky, a pretty big loss, 41-24, and Florida A&M they beat 38-24. So entirely possible that Alabama puts 30 plus
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think they'll score 30 plus.
easy.
Yeah.
But will they?
But will they cover by 31?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only, 'cause
But
they
I
could
can
win
see them putting up.
40.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh, wait,
think,
that
I
would
don't
be-
think they'll give up 40 points.
I don't think
yeah.
they're going to give up
No,
40
I think
points,
they
no.
score 50 plus, and they probably give up 20. So I think
I
they're
don't
going to.
think
I
they
think
give
it's
up
going to
20.
be.
Be close
No,
to
I don't
that.
think so. Yeah. I think.
Western Kentucky gave them 24. Alabama's not going to let them get 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah. These are all good.
Yeah. Look at us doing our homework. So what do we think? I'm gonna say I really like the Green Bay game.
Mhm.
I'm looking at Sean's now. Yeah, I kind of like the KC
Screw
money
the
line.
Falcons.
Yeah, screw the Falcons. I really like the KC money line one too. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
solid. I think they're
Yeah.
gonna come back
Oh,
and
yeah.
win this week.
I
So
think
there's-
it's going to be a good game. I think it'll be a close game because Jacksonville's not a bad team.
so
No,
we
and
need-
they got Ridley, who looks
Yeah.
like he hasn't been out of the league for
Mhm.
500 and some days.
Right. So do we want to do
I'd buy
a
it.
3-leg or we'll do a 3-leg for?
probably a 3-leg, right?
I think
Yeah.
we stick with the 3 legs
Yeah.
because I think that works out better.
Mhm.
You start getting into 4 or 5, and that's
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to go above 3. I think that we
No.
gotta keep some little bit conservative.
that's
right?
Yeah.
that's where we get ourselves in trouble when we're in
That's
Kansas.
usually
so-
when we're a few.
Yeah, so
drinks
draft-
Look at this
deep and-
18-leg parlay I got that could win me.
All I need is 18 people to hit a home run today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be
Why
a
wouldn't
millionaire.
that happen?
Yeah. So FanDuel's got Green Bay at 1.5 now. So it's
That's
like
what
I
you had said earlier. So
yeah. So I think it's kind of trend. I think more people are putting money on Green
Mhm.
Bay in that game. Then we got money line for KC,
yep.
and then
What is the third one? So you had KC. You had the New York Giants money line over Arizona.
Yeah.
I like that one. And then you had
And
Jets
then I also
Cowboys
Jets
under.
Cowboys under 39.5.
And then you had Baltimore 3.5.
yeah,
with 3.5 points.
I don't like it as much as that one. Or
Okay.
you
I
know,
really
one, so.
like the Giants money line over the Cards.
I mean, I do too. Thinking with my head here, not my heart.
Yeah,
I do too. I think they have.
too many question marks there, especially at quarterback.
Yeah.
How did the
Dobbs-
Giants get beat so
It was-
bad?
Just
Like,
Dallas,
they got
Dallas
shut
has their
out.
number. It's like the whole Green Bay Chicago
was
thing.
40
Man. Like
They
They
say
didn't
that it was
score a
like their
point.
7th win in a row over the Giants.
That's what I mean. It's like
Wow.
Green Bay
Still
owning.
40 rip. I mean, holy cow.
It was ugly. Like, did
Yes.
you watch any of it? Like,
I watched
Jones
a
had
little bit
no
of it,
time
so-
on every snap.
Yeah.
They were just in the backfield.
They came to
crazy.
play. They
I mean,
did.
New York,
They did.
that just Giants just make me nervous.
as much as I hate to admit it, hate the Cowboys.
I hate the Cowboys.
I like Dak Prescott.
Okay, so is that our 3? So we got Green Bay 1.5 over Atlanta. KC
Fuck the
money
Falcons.
line. Every
Do
time.
it.
It's
Fuck
like,
the Falcons.
Fuck the Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a good hat. Um,
I know a guy.
With
I
Long
know.
Island U.
Long Island, do you?
I know a
That's
guy at a pizza shop that is a Falcons fan that I would love to get that for.
We'll just walk in the pizza shop with the hat on.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
And-
great.
Yeah, so
If you listened to the podcast last week, he's probably going to listen to the next one.
I
So
like it.
hopefully
that's good.
he knows who.
So that's plus
That's what I'm talking
338.
about.
$40 wager gets us 135.20.
That's nice. That's
Not
nice.
That is
Um,
and maybe you get a boost.
maybe
No
we get a
boost.
boost. And just for the sake of our listeners, when I go across the bridge to place this bet legally in Iowa, I just want to
Yes.
say that I will always take any boost or bonus that FanDuel's willing to give us.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna grab it every single time. So, there's another game that none
Legally.
of us
Legally
pointed out
in Iowa.
legally in Iowa, within the boundaries of the state where betting is legal.
Right.
Thursday night game, Minnesota Philly. I thought about it for a minute. I think Philly. Okay, first off, we're done with our bet, but I was
Yeah.
just surprised no one brought it up
I
because I
had
think Philly's going to have something to prove, and I don't think Minnesota's good enough to prove anything.
Well, and it's a night game, and Kirk Cousins can't play
Oh, that's right. Under the
games
lights.
after 12
I
p.m.
think
So
is that the? It's like past his.
yeah, it's past his bedtime. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he has to
He's got to
read
read
that
Sports
book, that
Illustrated
same
for kids
book.
to his kids. Yeah.
Wasn't that you? He reads the same book to his kid every night. You just can't respect someone like that.
Well, I did. I mean, I think we're all guilty of.
Yeah, I mean that's the book that
because
the
the
kid
kids
wants.
are like, I want to
They
read this book. I'm
they
like,
want the same book.
ugh, again.
Of course, we're not in the book usually.
No.
I am missing out on so much by not watching.
You
this.
got to watch it. It's pretty good.
It was a good show.
It was good. It was no Johnny Manziel documentary, that's for sure.
Yeah, but if we were gonna bet on this game, I would take money line for the Eagles. I wouldn't take
Easy.
the spread.
Yeah, I don't know that I
and
would
I
take the
went,
spread.
and
the whole
I don't
time.
think I could do over under at 49.5.
Is it a full touchdown still? 7?
6.5?
6.5. Okay.
That's,
I think
yeah.
I think Philly wins at home.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And
We'll see-
Minnesota's
we'll
one
see
of
if we
those
talk
teams.
about this next week.
Even
Yeah.
even the shit talking on Cousins. Minnesota's one of those teams that you just never know who
Yeah.
you're going to get week to week.
They lost the Buccaneers
Yeah.
at home. Ugh.
So then
Horrible.
naturally, Minnesota's going to come out and beat Philadelphia by
Yeah.
3. Just some stupid.
Yeah, right. That's what and Thursday night games are always weird.
Yeah.
I know in fantasy football I always try to not start anyone on Thursday night games because then if they don't do well, then I'm
Unless-
pissed the rest of the
Right.
week.
Yeah, unless they've had that bye week before and
Sure.
they've had a full.
Sure. All right, so we're good on the NFL. Looking over at college football, what stands out to you guys? We all had some pretty good ideas here.
Yeah. We did.
I like that Florida State over.
Mhm.
I really like that one. You like that one too, Aaron?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
that
even,
was one. I didn't put it
even
down
further
because he had
down
mentioned
now.
it.
It's 47.5 now.
It's 47. Come on. We got to make
Yeah.
that part of our.
Yeah, I just
Can we do an alternate spread and make it 48 points? I'm just kidding. Let's not play with alternates.
Did we want to do one of those round robins?
What is that?
As we are still amateurs, I'm not ready to talk about round robin yet. I read it about 72 times and I'm still not sure I understand it. You got it down, Aaron?
Well, no, not really. But I thought it would be safe with the Cy Young winners and stuff because you don't have as much variance there. Because you have to. I think I don't know. I'm not even going to talk because I don't know.
This is being recorded.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
Just like you,
yeah.
I read about it and I was like, I don't.
2
I don't
by
know.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm sure some of our guests we'll have on will be able to explain it to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah,
And we'll save it for
Absolutely.
for that pod.
yeah. It just gave me a little bit of Forrest Whitaker eye. You ever read something? And you just
All right.
good name
So
for the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. So what's 2 and 3 then? What do we like? We talked a lot about the Wyoming and the Alabama one. We talked about
my homer pick for you.
the Homer pick.
if you're not comfortable with it. And again, that's one of those things I was looking at.
Let's
and
talk about that. Do we want to make a rule that we don't bet with our own teams? Or no?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
Okay. Damn it. I was really
Sorry.
hoping that would go through. I did not get the support I thought
yes,
it would.
please, God.
I mean, the only part about that I like is that I'd be rooting for my team to win.
Oh,
So that's good.
yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know how everyone feels about that one. Tennessee over Florida, 6.5, or the under at 58.5 was another one.
I like the under a little bit more.
What did
Yeah.
Tennessee? What has Tennessee been doing? I wish I had.
They
it
were
on.
30-13 against Austin P at home, and then they beat Virginia 49-13 at home. Now they're going to Gainesville.
So that counts for something. That's a home field.
Yeah,
The spread's a little, I think, scarier
yeah.
looking at it that way.
I don't think they're a touchdown. Yeah,
58.5 points is a lot.
it's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points, and they're in Gainesville, and Florida will probably play them a little harder.
Let's see. Take a look here at what Florida's done. They're 1-1. Looks like they've played Utah, and they lost to Utah 24-11. And then they played the mighty McNeese State, beat them 49-7. 49 points isn't anything to sneeze at either.
I think I like the under on that one. I also like. I just remembered we talked about the Colorado State Colorado one. I like that one. I like Colorado money line over Colorado State in Boulder.
What's the?
It's also 17 points as the spread,
Yeah,
which I could probably be talked into that too, but I'd probably feel more comfortable with the money line. At some point, something's going to happen to this Colorado team.
That's
and they're
where
going to
I'm-
get punched in the mouth.
I don't think it's going to
not
happen.
gonna be Colorado
against
State.
Not at Colorado State, but
But yeah, I'm with you on that one. And Dion is going to have them play to. They're going to pour it on when they can.
Mhm.
yep.
If they can pour it on, especially the in-state rival Colorado State, absolutely. I mean, they talked about being disrespected by Nebraska, doing a prayer in the middle of the Buffalo.
Right.
So
Yeah, what were they thinking? Praying in the middle of the field. Jeez.
So he's
Crazy.
definitely going to bring up some.
Yeah. I
somebody
think
from
it-
Colorado
he'll make
State
'em-
has
yeah.
probably talked about Dion's mom or something, and
Yeah.
that's going to.
And if we were gonna take that bet, I mean, I wouldn't do money line. It's minus 2,000.
Oh heck no! Then
No.
You'd have to
go
do
the
you'd have to do
points.
over unders or the spread. So
I think the spread would be fine on that one.
60.5 is the over under.
I'd rather.
I don't know.
I'd rather play spread than.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that Colorado State's
22
gonna
and a
have enough
half is
firepower.
yeah. Are they gonna win by more than 3 touchdowns?
Probably.
Okay.
Well, argue back. It's fine. We
I
to
don't
go
have
that
an
route.
argument back.
Yeah.
I think that's doable, but
So far, the only one we're really feeling good about is the FSU
Florida
over.
State.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. What about that Wyoming with 28.5 points at Texas?
That's a huge spread for a team that has
They're 2-0.
knocked off the Power Five.
Yep.
mhm.
What was their other win?
I don't think it was as big a deal.
Portland State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
31-17.
It was both games were also in Wyoming at like altitude. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
That's definitely a home field advantage.
And Texas is coming up a huge win.
That's the thing I keep going back to is that
Is
are
there
they
gonna be a
have a little bit
hangover?
of a hangover, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know.
Or maybe I just want there to be because
Yeah.
I freaking hate Texas.
Sarkeesian may be the only one hungover.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair.
Maybe he's grown out of that. Who knows? I don't know.
Doubtful.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see Texas.
Sean
going to
doesn't
play-
feel comfortable
I'm
about
not-
either one.
I don't know.
No.
They beat
There's
Alabama. They beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa by 10 points. So I
For
could
the
see them,
First time and
Right.
since
but I could see them beating
Nick
Wyoming
Saban
by.
looked young.
I could see
Okay.
Wyoming be or
28.5
Texas-
points that's a
I could see them
huge
winning
spread.
by 5 touchdowns. So I could see this being like a 56-10 game.
Good math.
That's
Okay.
46. It's way more.
Let's shift.
So.
What about that? Looking back at that Washington-Michigan State game, that seems to have some meltdown.
It's got some.
Michigan State
It's got
going
some
on.
legs.
It's got some legs. Do you have that one up by any chance?
Which one?
So the Washington at Michigan State. Last I saw it, it was Washington by 11.5.
Oh, there we go.
From
16
Michigan
and a
and
half.
Richmond.
Oh, that changed a lot.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of folks putting
Yeah, that's
Probably money
I
towards-
just looked at that this morning,
Washington. So
and it
What
was
was-
11.5.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's
yeah,
jumped 5 points.
and it's in Lansing too. Wow, that's surprising.
I think all this stuff going on with their coach is
Yeah.
just maybe we don't touch that one either, guys.
Yeah,
It could be because that's one of those deals where they could rally around everything and play
yep.
an incredible game and knock off a Washington team.
Yeah. None of these games are just that
I know
great.
there's not a lot standing out, right?
Now
So-
this one is not anything that I'm looking at. However, one of the guys that I work with, he was looking at some things, and he was real tempted to bet Illinois knocking off Penn State, like real tempted. And there was a few of us that were like,
Really?
"What?"
I don't think so.
I don't see that happening.
I don't think so.
And I told him, I said, maybe the line, you could maybe
What is the
take
line right
Illinois
now?
on the line.
I will say this though, for the Colorado game, the next game that they have is against Oregon. So
That'll be an interesting
do
game.
they have a little bit of
Trap game
looking
mentality, looking forward.
over Colorado State, looking towards Oregon
Yep.
in Eugene, not in Boulder, getting out of their comfort zone a bit. And right now, Oregon's favored by 14.5.
That'll be a fun one. I'll be rooting for Oregon in that game.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
So
14.5 for Penn State.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I don't see
so I
Illinois
could
being close to
see
that at all.
so that kind of counteracts the point of, is Colorado going to really, play that well? I guess I don't know. And there was a big emotional
Because
game
they could be
against
looking forward.
Nebraska they just
Yeah.
had too. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, they were emotional because
they were making up fake
disrespectful.
stories and fake
Prayer on
outrage.
Well, we all brought some games, and we're having a hard time finding more than one right now. Let's take another look at that Iowa State Ohio game that Sean brought up. 2.5 points.
I
was
like
the
that one
spread.
initially when he brought it up.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's
We haven't
3.5
talked about
now,
it.
so it's
I
actually
still
gone
think-
up. And it's at Ohio. What the hell?
Yeah.
Why are they going to
I don't-
Athens, Ohio for?
Well, they weren't very good last year. They need to. bounce
That's
back.
true. It is Iowa State.
I don't know.
It's like our second home from
Yeah,
fans.
it was for
so
a while,
Ames,
right?
Iowa.
I haven't been there in a while.
Shout
thank
out.
God.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out House of Chen. I think we had dinner there like 8 times in one week.
What
when
was
we were
that
in
one
Ames.
Hickory House or Hickory?
Oh, the barbecue place.
Yeah, the barbecue / whatever weird.
I can't remember
cabin
what it was.
looking-
Yeah. It
Ate
was-
there far too many times.
I think the fact that the spread is now larger kind of makes me think that it's kind of faring that way. The over-unders I'd stay away from because I don't think either of them is going to score points.
What is money line looking like?
162, minus 162 for Iowa
not
State.
awful.
So, I mean, it's a toss-up. Both of them are toss-ups, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Over under is 42.5.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
everything's
starts getting weird. 'cause
Yeah.
it's like,
everything's a toss-up. So, I mean, if it was me, I would still
21
take Iowa
is.
State in that game. So, I think Iowa State would cover there. So,
I like that one. I'd be comfortable with throwing Iowa State to cover.
yeah.
In the parlay. You guys like it?
For sure.
All right, I'm gonna lock that in.
Well, here's another interesting one that I just saw right beneath it.
Yeah, that's what I was just
What are you
getting ready to
looking at?
say.
Kansas State,
Missouri.
4.5
Oh,
at Mizzou.
that was actually my bonus one up here.
Yeah, I would
I've seen
take.
some people picking Missouri on this one.
Well, I think so too, and I think
Hmm.
Missouri's better than they've played so far.
Okay,
They have the better talent on paper,
right.
but they've kind of not really shown it yet. So that's an interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
I had it written down, and then the more I've thought about it through the day, I'm like, I don't know if I
Right.
would take Missouri.
Middle
I just-
Tennessee,
I feel like K-State's
23-19.
yeah,
So they're a little sluggish getting out of the blocks, it looks like.
Who's that?
and they're
Missouri.
oh,
they're giving
Mizzou.
them 6 points, right? So
Missouri, South Dakota, 35-10.
But then what about K-State? I feel like they've had at least one big win, or at least
They've done something to be
they've
ranked.
scored a
15.
bunch of points.
Mhm.
Put it that way. I don't know if they've beaten anyone yet.
Well, they've played Southeast Missouri, I'm guessing, SEMO,
Yep.
45-0.
Okay,
And then
beat Troy, 42-13.
Yeah.
42-13, yep.
Pride of the Sun Belt.
Yeah,
Third best school in Alabama.
I think
Arguably.
they'd cover 4.5 personally.
Is it 4.5 now?
4.5.
Mhm.
You think K-State will cover, or you're saying
Mhm.
Missouri?
I'd say K-State covers.
And that's one of those in-state like rivalry games.
Well, it's not in state.
Well,
Those are two
Borders.
different states.
yeah,
Yeah,
Missouri and Kansas, right?
I got
However,
you though.
The,
I got
the
you.
proximity.
I
of
got
it.
you.
Right.
I'm just messing. I don't know. I was going the other way with it.
I
thinking
can't see
Missouri with
Geno
the points.
Smith raising an AFC championship trophy either, guys.
He'll never do it. Not this year.
Maybe in 1982 when they were in the AFC. But
Or is he getting traded? Maybe that's what
Maybe.
we don't know.
maybe Seattle's going back to
The
Colin
Jets.
Coward,
The Jets need a quarterback. Maybe he goes back. you know?
Colin Coward knew something.
Yep. So maybe we stay away from that too. Yeah, this college week has been a little bit more of a challenge here.
It's tough. It's tough.
You
But
got
I think
Wisconsin,
we all
Georgia
agree on the
Southern.
Florida State
Yes, Florida
cover,
State.
or the Florida State over.
Yep. And then the Iowa State to cover.
Okay,
versus
3.5.
Ohio. So we got 2.
Yep. So we got 2. So we need
Um,
We
a
just
third.
start going down the line here. Wisconsin, Georgia Southern. 19.5 for Wisconsin.
I don't trust Wisconsin.
Yeah.
In
right now.
Wisconsin.
They keep trying that air raid thing, and then they give up on it, and they start running and winning.
So that's a no.
Yeah.
Sounds like a no.
I keep looking at your guys' picks, and I keep going. I like that Tennessee, Florida.
That's why I
under.
only did 2 this week because I had nothing.
It was
nothing on the college board was really shining at me like, oh, this is a good idea.
Well, we picked both of yours, so good job. Haven't picked any of mine.
Louisville, Indiana. 10.5 Louisville.
So no Tennessee, Florida under. We're over that. Are we over it? We're done. Okay.
Was the
Scratched.
over or the?
Sorry.
We went under.
We're done talking about it, is what I meant to say, not we're over. That was a
Oh.
poor choice of words. We wanted the under at 58.5. Or, well, at least that was the argument earlier, right?
I think that's not a bad. I think with everything else that we've talked about, that's probably more reasonable than
I think
other
so,
things.
too. Plus, I would love to not have to include ASU in our parlay. Because I don't know
That's fair.
They're going to win by 20, watch.
Probably.
And Tennessee, Florida will go over. Aaron, I don't think, even though it was his pick, he has not chimed in.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Nebraska's
The silence is deafening.
Nebraska's 10.5 point favorite.
They don't know who's playing
We just-
quarterback.
Do we just
Well,
take
sounds
Northern
nice.
Illinois to cover?
The only way I was
Actually-
looking at that one was money line, and I don't even feel comfortable enough to do that.
Well, didn't Northern Illinois beat them a few years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I was at that game.
Mm-hmm. Just kidding. We should stay away from that. That's
Yeah, I don't want
Poison.
it. Nope. It'll just make us even that much
Angrier.
more angry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right?
LSU, Mississippi State. LSU's 9.5 point favorite.
I actually like that. I think, kind of we talked about it with the NFL teams. They're going to come I think they're going to come back and try to prove something.
Mississippi State has played Southeast Louisiana, beat them 48-7, and they beat Arizona 31-24.
They barely beat Arizona. I think LSU is going to The wheels kind of came off in the second half a couple weeks ago. Who did LSU beat this week?
Did they play this week?
I don't think it was
Is
anybody
that what it
big.
was? Yeah, I thought they played. I thought they blew someone out, like 70 to something.
Grambling State 72-10.
Yeah, that doesn't
So
count.
maybe that was their.
Yeah, I could see
Prove it
LSU covering. And it's at Mississippi. It's in Starkville, so. Yeah, it's hard.
What's the spread again?
9.5. I could see him covering that though.
I actually like that one. I don't know.
The other one that jumped out at me was UTSA and Army. 8.5 for UTSA.
I know nothing about them, so I
I
don't.
feel like Army's playing well, are they not?
Must not be there.
I mean, it's Army. So,
Yeah.
They don't usually play good until they play Navy.
Right. And everyone's playing good against Navy this year. I mean, even Notre Dame.
I mean, so they beat Delaware State 57-0.
Got the Fighting Hugh Freezes of Liberty University, 3.5 point favorite over the Buffalo Bulls. I don't know.
That was the one that I was okay. Let me scroll down here because there was one that I didn't write down that I had in the back of my mind, and I just got reminded of it.
We're gonna be cutting. I'm gonna be editing out a lot of silence this week. I've noticed.
That's all right.
That's okay. We'll get
Tulane
there.
and Southern Miss.
Tulane, Southern Miss.
Tulane's a 12.5 point favorite.
We're gonna go against Southern Miss again this week.
Worked last week. We did the over/under last week, though.
Yeah, we did. 12 and a
Tulane
half.
was in a spirited battle against Ole Miss.
Yeah. It was a close game too, wasn't it?
Tulane was ranked 22nd.
Yeah,
I want to say.
they're a good team.
Southern Miss is not that. Well, I mean, they showed signs of life. They have
How good are you going to look against
they
Florida
have
State?
Frank Gore Jr.
Yeah.
who's their running back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
12.5. Yeah, picking this third game's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
They beat Alcorn State 40-14, and then got blown out by Florida State.
I still go. I like the LSU one, and I like the. I still like that Tennessee Florida under. I don't know.
Let's do it.
What do you think, Aaron? Sean and I have been on that one. You're the one that has not. It was your bet,
Right.
It was.
No, I'm giving all of the lines a look, and we're doing our due diligence here.
I know. Yeah. I like it. I just don't. To me, nothing else has stood out
nothing
compared
else.
to that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my vote.
I'm good with it.
Okay. So, well, when you guys, since you have FanDuel up over
How do you
here,
get rid of
do?
these other ones in here? Like, how do you delete? Here, maybe I'll just reload it or something. Round robin stuff. Really threw it for a tizzy here. So, all right. So what did we say? We got.
Yeah, we got. Okay, so
Florida State cover or
Florida State
on the over.
on the over.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
And then
Iowa State to cover.
Iowa State to cover 3.5. And what was the other one? Florida, Tennessee.
Whatever surprised me.
Or
You're incoming.
is it? And so we're doing the unders
on the Tennessee Florida
58.5.
Yep.
Which I think that's.
I like it. Yep.
So that's plus 616.
Plus 616. That's similar to our college bet last week.
That's 246.
If we throw 40 at it.
Yep.
All right.
Because we're dope.
We are dope.
So we're gonna be.
That's what you had.
Yeah.
Look at you. You knew.
Yeah, that's from
Beer Whisperer.
fantasy draft. I left that here. So, yeah.
All right. So there we go. We got it.
Nice.
We got our 2 parlays. So just to recap here real quick for the 2 people listening at home. For NFL, for our wives.
I heard some of the dance team girls listen to us.
Yeah, actually, we got 2 5-star ratings.
Yeah, I was told not
yeah.
to drop the F-bomb so much this week. I was like, I will do my best.
I think we've been good with F-bombs.
Yeah.
I think we've
Been
said
all right.
some other things, but
Yeah.
well, Aaron's just, I mean, that's just granted.
Yeah.
It's your,
So
I thought I did pretty well last week.
I did too. And
until
then
you
they're
started listening, and then
yeah,
oh.
they're like, you
I
sound
marked
like
it as explicit, so
yeah.
just in case. So
Kids shouldn't be
it's up to
listening
them. They
anyway.
shouldn't be listening anyways.
Right.
So NFL,
No, we need them to listen.
Aaron, we are recapping right now.
Snooker.
All right, so for the NFL, we got Green Bay
Sorry, blew it.
taking the points, 1.5 points over Atlanta.
Fuck the Falcons.
All right, we're taking Kansas City money line, and then we got New York Giants money line over the Cards. For college football parlay, we're taking the over at 47.5 for Florida State, Boston College. We're taking Iowa State with the 2.5 points over Ohio.
3.5.
3.5. Sorry, 3.5 points over Ohio. And then we got the Tennessee Florida game. Betting the under at 58.5. Sorry, it's something.
Somebody just died upstairs.
Someone died upstairs in our house. There was a loud bang, but I don't hear screaming.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume everything's okay.
Everything went quickly.
Awesome. Good stuff, guys. As always, I will drive over the bridge tomorrow during my lunch break. Legally place bets within the boundaries of Iowa through FanDuel. Okay, so, Sean?
Mm-hmm. I don't have anything.
You don't have any crazy bets?
No, there's nothing fun.
Did we land on a name for this segment?
Sean Slovakian side bets seem to be
I feel like, what about Sean Slovakian side bet shenanigans? I feel like the shenanigans got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It sounds bad no matter
it
what.
doesn't have
how
to
you
be
term it.
Slovakian, though.
No,
But
right.
Tell the
we
story.
probably do have
There
to tell a
was
story.
there was Swedish hockey in there at one point during that day too. So it wasn't just Slovakian volleyball.
Still alliteration. Swedish.
There was
Slovakian.
Swedish hockey at some point during that day in Kansas City.
I don't remember how much
so.
we talked about it last week, but
Did we?
I'm not going to go into this per se, but you can. But I just kind of want to tell the listeners that we're friends because of dance, right? Like we're friends. All our daughters dance at the same dance studio, and we end up spending an inordinate amount of time at dance competitions, like a lot of time, and we end up betting because we end up in these states
And
where
at the
it's legal.
dance studio, building props and painting props
props. But I guess my point there was that we have a lot of time to sit
Yes.
around.
Yeah.
So the three of us primarily talked about it a lot, and we ended up doing like FanDuel and DraftKings and Caesars and all these apps, and we get bored, and some of us start making ridiculous, crazy off the wall bets because they're just looking for action and there's no other games going on.
And you sit at a bar drinking IPAs for 4 straight hours.
Starting
it's your
the day
job.
off. Starting the day off.
At
with
noon.
Starting the
Levies.
day off, yeah. So we felt it necessary to start doing a segment every week, and maybe we won't start it this week, but moving forward.
Yeah, there's just so there's nothing so I tried looking up like the really obscure things like Slovakian volleyball and Swedish hockey, but none of that stuff is in season yet.
Handball?
Handball I didn't see. I'm looking now. So there is some French Division 1 men's handball that starts tomorrow afternoon.
Oh.
We got the Limoges handball versus Chartres Métropole handball. I don't know what the hell
really
that
good
means.
French,
Yeah.
I assume.
There's Swedish handball. We got Spanish Liga handball. There's lots of handball. Yeah. So maybe I have to look into the handball some more here.
I like it.
Actual handball,
I
not other
typically
things.
look into
So
handball several times per week, but just not at a betting
right.
level.
So
Right.
so maybe next week I'll come with some.
We've got
I like it.
There's darts.
Yeah. There's darts. Darts are fun to
Wow.
watch actually.
Yeah, darts. Those guys are ridiculous.
But I'm gonna put my I personally will be putting money on Lando this weekend.
Formula One.
Formula One. They're racing Singapore.
Yep.
Very technical, lots
Podium?
of turns.
Betting for podium.
I think he's gonna win.
First ever win in Formula One in history.
Formula One
I love
at
it.
Singapore.
We're both McLaren fans,
night.
Orlando fans.
It's a
What are the
nighttime
odds
race.
on that?
Yeah,
Plus 2100.
2100.
Yeah, but so you got to think
I
about
want
it
to
though.
talk about that.
Yeah, Verstappen he's won like the last 9-10 races in a row, and he's minus 380. He's probably gonna win. The next closest is his teammate, who's plus
Checo.
1000.
Yeah.
So, but they just upgraded
Is
the
he
car.
third best odds?
Second best odds.
Oh.
Yeah, or
No,
Lando's
sorry.
fourth best.
Oh,
yeah,
not bad.
him and Hamilton
So
are
you're
at
telling
plus
me
21. There's a chance, but they just upgraded their car again, and they have the stealth livery this weekend,
Ooh.
which McLaren has the best liveries. Period.
Oh, they just do.
Yeah,
they
but-
look awesome every
and
week.
that's a total homer bet, but I'm going Lando
I like it.
to win
Okay,
at Singapore.
that's good.
Yeah, and then
Are we going to include that on the?
Hey, it's there. It's out there.
yeah,
People want to bet on Formula One. There you have it. You got
So-
Sean's bet.
yeah. I'm only
Sean's not shenanigans bet.
Yeah, it's actually a
only
pretty,
putting- only gonna put 5 on it, but they still wins $100 if I
$5
if he
for
hits.
$100.
So
That's great.
so we'll take it.
Awesome.
Yep.
What else we got, guys? I mean, that's pretty much it. I
That's
think
really
we've
it.
got our
I mean,
parlays in.
I think it's great that we're playing with house money already on
Yeah.
week 1 or week 2 now,
Yep.
and so
Keep
we've
it rolling.
See if we
basically
can keep it rolling.
I'm really excited
The more we keep it rolling, the more we can do this.
I'm really excited, but I'm also terrified at the same time because if we get to the point where we're literally dropping 5K on a parlay, I'm gonna crap my pants.
It's a good problem to have, though.
It
Yeah.
is a good problem to
Starting
have.
off
Right,
with
right.
$60.
Yeah,
I love it.
We
right,
can't
right.
be too,
So-
too
No.
much about it.
But
No, we're doing.
but when
we're doing
if and when
great.
we if and when we get to that point, I think we need to try to figure out a time where we
We can sit down and look.
sit
at things.
down and maybe we
Closer.
even like live stream that or
live stream the planning process.
or just the day like or we just take like random audio during the day like oh okay we're one leg down of 3 and we've got 1 on our because that I mean the 5K
That's actually a great idea.
the 5K bet
That's a really good
the
idea.
5K bet is that's the one we hit that
So
we're at
Sean's
10K.
our idea guy.
Yeah, he is. I love it.
Yeah, because
I love it. I'm just IT support.
that 5K day,
And
that's
I'm just here.
yeah,
You have the best DJ voice.
All right.
that's true.
You do.
Voice for radio,
Voice, face for radio.
Face for radio.
face
yeah,
for
yeah.
radio. But that 5K day is, I mean, that's when we're gonna make or break our goal. So,
So we
I
hit
love
that, and then the next week. Oof.
and then do we put 10K?
You know, you know, actually, we get to that point where we're that close with these big bets, we'll make sure we're all together.
Oh yeah.
So like
Yeah.
at least for some of the games.
Yeah.
I know it might not always work out perfectly, but
Right.
yeah, we'll get there. I also think that live streaming is definitely an option moving forward. I just got to figure out, you know, camera setup. You know, we're starting off. We're doing everything basically free. So I think our audio is going to sound a little better this week than it did last week, and we'll just keep improving. We'll just keep improving throughout.
Yeah. And if you are listening,
journey.
thank you.
And if people,
Thank you so much for listening
and giving us a reason to do this.
Yeah.
That's right. And hey, you know, another thing, maybe you want to do a call out for social media there, Aaron?
Yes,
People to follow.
We've got our Twitter set up. It's the #1 and Rad Dads, or X, I guess is what it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, X. Yeah.
I dated
Thanks,
myself
Elon.
there. And then we've also got our Facebook page up and running, and that's just Dancing with the Odds.
Love it.
Give us a follow, give us a like. We've gotten several likes and follows so far. I think we're up to around 30.
Oh, awesome.
When I
That's cool.
last
You just
looked.
launched it last night. So that's good. And yeah, definitely check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can follow us. We're out there now. We're everywhere.
We're going to need to get some business cards, I feel.
We are. We're going to get
Hope
business
so.
cards and
Hats,
possibly
trucker hats.
trucker hats are coming, I think, next. And maybe we'll start doing swag.
I got
Stuff
32
away.
followers because I'm
32.
there. You go.
No, it's good stuff.
Wow.
You know, with that, I know. It took really
Yeah.
over 24 hours later,
I know.
one of our
My
actual
bad.
hosts
Uh-huh.
just followed us.
Yikes.
So
Uphill battle.
message us as well. You can message us on what is it, X and Facebook.
Yep.
And we also even have an email address. I don't know that anyone cares. Is it
Dancing with the odds
at gmail.com?
Yep.
So yeah, if you have ideas, if you have questions, if you want to just talk shit to us,
Yeah, or if you've
That
got an
works,
idea
too.
for a bet and have some,
send your bets in.
Yep.
Yep. I love it. Well, awesome, guys.
Perfect.
love
Cool.
to interact.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. Until next week, where we will meet up and discuss how well or not well we've done.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh, well. We're not
Should
putting
be.
that out in the universe.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Till next time.
folks.
Thank you.
The content provided in this podcast is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. We do not provide any form of gambling advice, recommendations, or endorsements. It is essential to make your betting decisions based on your own judgment. Thank you for being a part of our podcast community. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Dancing with the Odds, and we look forward to sharing more insights and entertainment with you in the future. Remember, gamble responsibly and stay in control.